nothing more than a notebook, pen, a list that I haven't pulled up yet, and a dream. What is that dream? That dream is to explain the incredibly complicated lore to the Monument Mythos, unquestionably one of my favorite series on the internet. This is the lore we have to explain. Here we have the list pulled up here. However, before we can begin with the actual episodes, we first got to explain the one made much earlier. This is Corner Folk, right? Okay. The main thing with the Corner Folk, it explains how universes work. So we got a universe here. This is one 2D plane. This is a universe, right? And then up here we have other 2D plane, other universe, right? We got the 2D planes, right? But then we got a line here, right? And who can cross the line? Why, it's the Corner Folk. Of course, no one else can cross the lines. If anyone else tries to cross the line, then it's not gonna work. Case in point, someone that doesn't work with. My main man Riley Tillin here, right? This is Riley Tillin. Everyone say hi. Look, he's waving at you. Riley has a house, right? As most humans do. And in his house, this is like kind of the arrangement a little bit, not really. So, coincidentally, because this is the Monument Mythos, as we'll come to see, his house has corners, but the corners are where the Corner Folk can come in, right? So he's been noticing in his house that like the literal corners are where the Corner Folk come in. So his house just has little corners across dimensions. Why? I don't know. This is what a Corner Folk looks like. Looks like a little gremlin, looks like a little goblin, looks like a little PNG made by wanna say like around 17-year-old, I think, was when Alex Susanus, how old he was when he was making the series, making this episode, right? So Riley Tillin catches a ride then on a Corner Folk. So he catches a ride with a Corner Folk through a corner of his house here, right? New Napster, I'm actually hyped. Bring back Whoopi. No, Whoopi's over there. I don't want him back. He's taking up his stream. So then Riley Tillin goes in the Corner Folk, or the Corner World, which is where the Corner Folk reside. So Corner Folk reside in Corner World. So what does the Corner World look like? It looks like that's kind of what it looks like a little bit. So then Riley Tillin comes out of it. What does he do? He avidly makes origami. So and then we'll like have him like up here, and then that's what he looks like. So he's not doing super. Wait, let's have a look. He's not doing super well off, right? He avidly makes origami because funny, I guess. I don't even know. Crane. Alright, that was the first episode. Awesome job. Now we gotta do the second episode, which is Liberty Lurker. Statue of Liberty here, right? This is the Statue of Liberty. And it's got a really, really tall pedestal here, right? Also, on the island, coming to the island, are people immigrating to the United States of America, right? So we'll draw a little boat. So when they have to cross through the island, some of them get eaten. I don't know, but we get shown a diagram, and it looks a little something like this. This is what the pedestal looks like. So we got this, and then we got waste management. He's getting slaughtered by the Statue of Liberty. And then there's a little spooky little guy that comes out of it. This little guy, creepy little guy. Next episode is Rushmore Revenge. I don't like this episode very much. We got Mount Rushmore here, right? However, on Mount Rushmore, there comes a sign one day. I'm a give infection 10-12 to 10-13. When does who is Stimpy? Is it like the character from Ren and Stimpy? They don't show up. So the guy says he's gonna introduce infection, right? Some mysterious guy comes in. So on the last day, Sunday, I believe, we see the statue or the monument looks a little bit like this. So it looks a little like a because that's infection on Mount Rushmore from some mysterious person. Alright, what's next? Alcatraz attack. Off the coast of America. Anyway, let's draw the west coast of America here. Let's got there it is. So there's Alcatraz Island. Alcatraz Island, it's weird because it is moving. What they're trying to do is give it radiation, right? Let's draw the interior of Alcatraz now, right? Little something like this, where like you got the morgue, tennis court, cell, and then you got the mitochondria. And what you need to know, Alcatraz is a cell. And Alcatraz, since it's a cell, it undergoes mitosis. But it's not mitosis. This is real. It's called Alcatrazosis. I don't know why they call it that. That's a really dumb name. This is cell division. But it's not cell division, it's Alcatrazosis. So, Alcatrazosis. Why did they call it Alcatrazosis? What? Okay. So, Alcatrazosis. It makes more cells inside of Alcatraz, which also is a cell, which is weird. What is wrong with my arm? Why is it purple? They introduced radiation into the island, right? So the goal is to stop it from performing Alcatrazosis, I think, right? So they realize by 2050, right? So Alcatraz is gonna be here. The coast is gonna be like here, and this whole area is gonna be like bad. However, problem is when they introduce radiation, more Alcatrazes appear. There's more Alcatrazes now. It'll be important later on, but not really right now. Alcatraz is the most important thing. No, it's the most important thing in the later series, and it's also God. But, like, not really. We'll get to this later, like, what Alcatraz is. I don't even know. To be honest, it's a really confusing, like, element. It's kind of like, oh, it's the Force. It's the quantum mechanics, kind of like that for the MONUMENT MYTHOS. Oh, next episode is Dean Democracy. Okay, let's draw James Dean here. And then we'll give him devil horns. Not because he's a devil, but just because it makes him more distinct. So this is James Dean. Now, some of you in the audience might recognize James Dean. Oh, like that old-ass movie actor who died in a car accident. Whoops, that was disrespectful. In the series, right, he runs for president. And we see in so when he runs for president, he makes a 15-second ad on TV. So this 15-second ad. This is where the series gets kind of weird because this 15-second ad that's just a pretty cool sounding song, and then just, what are we waiting for? Let's bring them back home. They decide to replace CNN one night with the ad playing 120 times in a row. CNN is less important than Dean ad. Dean Wallace. But who is the third candidate? Why, of course, the third candidate is Richard Nixon. Everyone's favorite fella. So, James Dean and Richard Nixon, before a debate, they go out go-karting. They go out go-karting, right? Because of course. So then Nixon says to Dean, "You're already a better president than I'll ever be." Dean wins the polls, obviously, because of course. So when it comes time for the State of the Union address, so there's this group, right? The ADA. Now ADA stands for a lot of things. They're all the same group, but right now it stands for Anti-Dean Association. So they're all the same group in that they're all like extreme rightists, which is funny because one of the biggest antagonists of the series, especially the first 2 seasons, is just extreme rightists. Let's give him a. He cuts the audio of James Dean talking, right? And he comes in and he cuts it, right, with the scissors, because he's a bad guy. Now the sound is cut, so no one in the audience can hear James Dean, but they see his facial reactions, just his facial expressions. Like, they just see, like, oh, he's a young man, but he's really passionate, and he cares about the country. That is enough to convince members of the audience. Stanley Kubrick says that the James Dean State of the Union address is the greatest silent film ever created. What? Chad says Dean Pog. Why do I bother? Okay, there goes the funny. So now it's time for Air Force One Angel, right? That's a fish. This is the Air Force One ship, right? This is a big important ship in the United States. I don't know why, to tell you the truth, but it's important. But then, somebody hijacks it, right? And they find out who it is. It's not only unregistered, but it was unmanned also, which, like, what? So this is the only picture they see of him. Then people gotta wonder, who is the guy who is in the Air Force One? I forgot to mention, they were, like, flying all around the United States. Visiting national monuments. I don't believe, I think that was this episode. So they visit Rushmore. They visit San Fran, the Golden Gate Bridge, GGB. I don't know what else they visit. Probably not that important, I don't believe. Next episode is Lincoln Looker. Now, I don't really pay much attention to this episode for reasons you'll find out later. This one's a real doozy. This one's like really. I know this series has been like really unrealistic, but this is just insane. One of the presidential powers, right, to take one person and put them inside of the Lincoln Memorial, right? So what do I mean by that? I mean, they just put him in a cage inside the Lincoln Memorial. Why? Just cause, like, my phone's gonna die. Like, not for any good reason, just like, because, like, they're like, they just, like, personally offend them, so they put them in the Lincoln Memorial, right? You know, just torture them for 8 years. So one person who goes as a Lincoln Looker is Maya Arnoldson. I'm not good at pronouncing the name Arnoldson. Arnoldson. Maya Arnoldson. She gets put as a Lincoln Looker, but it was a mistake. They didn't mean to put her as a Lincoln Looker. They meant to put someone else. So they basically tell her, nobody will believe you, lol. So I don't believe it. But that's for reasons you'll see later. Next episode is Washington Wormhole, right? So we got the Washington Monument here, right? Now, notably, there's a tree inside of it. So that's inside of it, right? So, the tree makes the music. Music song. So the tree makes a beautiful song, right? What it does is, I guess, it lures people into it, right? So then they pull them up this little, like, trebuchet thing here, right? The gate opens and then they fall to their death. They say that there were 20 people who died, and then all 19 of them were recovered. Now, do any of you notice a problem with this number? 20 of them died, and then 19 of them were recovered. Any of you in the audience notice a bit of a impossibility with this? It's because one person was not brought back. That's the problem. Okay, next episode in the order I watched it is Rockefeller Tree Tragedy. This one is one of my favorite episodes in the series. So, recollection of the tragedy by John D. Rockfall. And then we get Virginia in Wonderland. They tell a story, right? They both tell the same story, but, like, differently. So, Virginia in Wonderland follows Virginia, the protagonist of the story. Well, a recollection of the tragedy is, John D. Rockefeller, who's the president, by the way. Rockefeller was president, but earlier. Mr. Rockefeller, right? President Rockefeller, I guess. Former President Rockefeller. He has his own plaza, right? The Rockefeller Plaza. It's Christmas time, right? But there's no tree. Let's draw an outline of a tree. So Mr. Rockefeller goes and he says, "Hey guys, let's get me a tree, right?" So he sends all of his men out to find a good tree. But the problem is that all the trees suck. There's nothing good enough for, like, a president, right? Until he finds this. And this is the greatest tree he's ever seen. This bad boy. It's got no leaves. What it does have is a cool song. So Mr. Rockefeller says, "Hey, I want that tree." So they start cutting it down. Problem is, they can't cut it down. However, there's grave diggers, right? And they say, wait, I'm drawing Stimpy RN. That's cool. So then grave diggers say, "Hey man, we can get it in 3 years." So 3 years later, that's a shovel. 3 years later, right, they dig up the tree, right? So then Mr. Rockefeller puts it in his plaza, right? I forgot to mention also at the end of the Washington wormhole, the Washington Monument, it does this. And then there's a lot of, like, lightning and electricity and stuff. That's a thing that it does. It's because of the tree, by the way. So then, this tree over here, right? When they pick it down, it's gonna do the same thing. But we gotta go to Virginia, right? So Virginia is a child. She's a 10-year-old child, I believe, and she has a star. She has a star ornament. She wants to hang it on the tree, right? The problem is she is too short. Okay, let's draw the scale, right? So we got tree, and then we got Virginia, right? So she can't put the tree on there. She needs 10 friends to put I'm not even on the first season, bro. Oh my god. So then she needs to get 10 of her friends, right? So she gets 10 of her friends, and they all have names, even though they shouldn't. So Virginia goes to the top of the monument, right? And she's like stepping on all her friends, right? And they're all pissy and whiny. But she makes it to the top, and she puts a star ornament on, right? Then the tree, it does this, and then also the I suppose. And then it does the lightning, the zappity zap, zap zap. Then Virginia wakes up and she's in a field of trees, right? Sad. That's sad for her. Please show this on stream. Hold on, I got a DM. I don't know if I can actually close the stream. Hold on. Top 10 sad tree moments. Yeah, this is a sad moment. It's called a tragedy. So then when she wakes up, she's back in New York. But it ain't her New York. And she wakes up, and she's in a... What? Tragedy. Why do I put up with... Why do I do this with my time? My time is so valuable. And I'm wasting my youth putting up with this shit. I hate all of you. Okay, so she wakes up in New York, and then the doctors, she doesn't hear the doctors, but what they tell her, they say to her parents that everything is backwards. which means that, like, her organs got flipped. Now, this does not make a lot of sense so far, right? But it's... Is it going to? Do I have to explain this now? I'm actually not sure if I have to explain exactly what just happened right now, or if I have to, like, explain that later. I don't... We can explain it later, actually, yeah. Next up is a fun one. This is Delaware Double. So we get a report from the Delaware River Journal. And they say that two guys, a fisherman, and some other guy, I don't know. So I forgot to mention. Virginia Arnoldson. She's related to Maya Arnoldson. How? I don't remember. I think she's, like, their grandmother, but, like, in the future. Because, like, this is, like, the 1930s. And then this is the 70s, the early 70s. So the Delaware, right? So they say a man found in a river, right? They found a hat on him, right? That's not what it looked like. It's called a bicorn, as in two corn. So they pick him up and they find out, oh my goodness gracious, George Washington. It's George Washington. George Washington, you know, pretty common occurrence actually. The hypothesis then is that this is not the real Washington, but it's a double actor, right? So the real Washington died in combat. Then this one also died. And then they put him in the Delaware River. Now, we're going to get back to this, right? Remind me, page 10, right? This is going to be George Orwell's Monument Mythos. This is going to make even less sense in the future because we're going to see later, Washington Prime is a snake. Washington, the first duplicate, died in battle, and then Washington, the president that we understand, died of natural causes, I think. I don't know. Next episode is gonna be Canyon Crown, right? So we got this guy here, right? What is her name? I don't remember her name. We're gonna call her... Chat, she needs a name. Okay, so we have, then we have, Quinn Arnoldson. And these are both Arnoldsons. Ali? George Washington did not die in Vietnam. And it was not in 2003 either. Okay, we're gonna call her Al Yee. Al Yee Arnoldson, I guess. So, their father, right? Nathaniel Arnoldson. Bro did not go to the What is 03? What happened in 03? So, they go to the Grand Canyon together, right? This is the Grand Canyon. So, they see a bunch of awesome sights, including the most important character in this series, Mr. Squirrel! And he is the most important character in the entire series, because he's Mr. Squirrel! So they see him there, but also, importantly, they see a big ol' head in the distance, right? Big ol' head, this is a head, this is a human head. So, Al Yee, who I believe is making the documentary, she says that Nathaniel took us out to see his sister Maya. That motherfucker was Maya. Maya Arnoldson, mayhaps like Maya Arnoldson? No way! They're the same person, by the way. It's the same Maya Arnoldson. Me when no barrows be like. Okay, I'm back. I gotta see the message that was posted to me on Discord. Hold on, let me pull it up. Okay, I was told to show this on stream. that I hope you all liked that. Next episode is the final episode of season 1, right? This is gonna be freedom failure. Now this is failure as in a person that cuts wood. It's not faller. It's not faller as in a person that falls, but they do both actually. So we start off with a telegram message between 4 guys, right? And then they go back and forth and they yammer for a little while, and we decide that this guy, Thomas Crawford, Weezer? Okay, first of all, I already had Weezer, and you didn't even notice. Here, hold on. Look, I already had Weezer, and you said nothing about it, okay? 4 guys, they talk about it. Thomas Crawford designs a statue, right? And this is, we'll give her a knit cap. We'll give her a sword and a shield. So, she's gonna be seated atop the Capitol Dome, right? She is the Statue of Freedom. Now, this is a real American monument. It's actually on top of the Capitol Dome right now, but nobody talks about it, even though it's so cool. They're gonna put the statue on the Capitol Dome, right? However, right before a statue's about to get shipped out, something terrible has happened. Thomas Crawford finna died. So then his wife comes and she's like, she sees in the statue, Thomas's eyes, right? So the statue has Thomas's eyes, and it's real weird, but she don't like it. So when the statue's about to get shipped out, their daughter Nina Crawford, right? And she has like hair. It looks like this. This is not like a cartoonish like exaggeration. This is what her hair looks like. So then Nina goes into a box with Thomas. Right here, let's hit him with the with a box, and then we have Nina, and we'll give her hair, blah 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 blah, and we'll give her blah blah, and then that's the butt. And then we have freedom. Oh, also I forgot to mention they asked her to take off the knit cap because that's slavery, but they support slavery. Because the knit cap represents freedom from slavery, but the Americans support slavery at the time. And Nina's in a box, right? Nina's there she is. However, one day, they get out of the box to go to some cave, right? Phooey, heckin' darn, Phooey, my charger make things weird. In the cave, right? Statue of Freedom. And then we got, Nina over here. Now, in order to represent Nina, so the Statue of Freedom, Nina more like cat in a box. No, Nina more like the Statue of Freedom tears apart her organs and leaves a hollowed out carcass there at the scene. So then let's just give her like a big old pit here where her organs would go. Now the Statue of Freedom has all the blood on it, I guess. So then when the inspectors come down, they see, and they have to leave because it's horrifying. So then they leave the cave. Wait, let's draw the cave. This is the cave. And then they leave the cave. So then they put the statue atop the Capitol Dome, right? Oh no, I hope Nina gets better. She does actually. No, she is better from being a hollowed out corpse. Alright, so but then, since today is January 6th, it's actually January 6th of like, I want to say 71, I think. The ADA, still the Anti-Dean Association, right? ADA, they shoot her down. They shoot down the statue, because they're a bunch of meanie heads, I guess. I don't know. Shoot down the Statue of Freedom, but then the statue goes and it just kills a bunch of people. It just goes out, and with a sword, right? That's its sword. That's the sword. It's carrying a sword, and we'll give it the shield here, and then we got he got decapitated, right? And then we'll give him his body here. blah, blah. So that's Freedom Failure. What it introduces is the Statue of Freedom, and it goes around. It's a bad influence. It's a bad thing on society for now, but it gets better. Oh my god, that was only an hour, barely an hour, but I'm done the first season. I'm gonna pass out, I swear to god. Okay, cool. Good job, me. Awesome. The next episode is Corner Girl. I don't get this episode. So we have, some guy. He's not Alex Kazanis. He's made that very clear. So then he moves luggage. And then we got a girl who's not any other girl. And then she's dead. And then she was luggage. And then, meanwhile, they talk about triangles in the background. It's a triangle, by the way. The right triangle, you know, you got that A, B, C. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Prove the two triangles are congruent. And you got, well, you see they share, hold on, let's give the two triangles here. So this side's congruent. We can, these are right angles, these are congruent, and then we could say, this is a parallel line. Wait, no. These lines are parallel, so that means these angles are shared. The triangle is, triangle A, B, C is, no, that's not where it goes. Next episode, I don't really get this one either, honestly. There's a lot in season 2 that I don't get. It's a lot more confusing than, the rest of the season. But it's, like, a lot more confusing than the previous season. They all just kind of get more confusing as they go along. Except the Nixon verse. That one's an oddity. You'll see why. Next episode, we got, Maze Movie Maker. A movie maker from Maze. Maze makes a movie maker, movie about movie making. You know what I'm saying? It's 12 o'clock now, bro. I don't even want to do this anymore. God damn. I might just cut it off here. Okay. I'm gonna cut it off here, I decided. So, let's go back and let's just, instead of explaining on a case-by-case basis, like an episode-by-episode basis, let's explain the big picture timeline now. Because I want to do that, because I don't want to do this anymore. My god. Oh, I was hoping I'd be coughing up blood. That'd be funny. Okay, so we gotta explain a couple of things first. Okay, so wait, let's instead explain what the episodes add to the series. What does Maze Movie Maker add to the series? It adds more Maya and Nathaniel. Now these are sisters, right? These are siblings, right? Siblings, and they go inside of a maize factory, right? Maize is in corn. M-A-I-Z-E as in corn. So they go inside of a... So, Maze partners with the U.S. government. U.S. Govt. And then let's give them... That's shaking hands, by the way. So they partner together, and then... Maya and Nathaniel go into a maze underground facility. This is what it looks like. And on the inside, it's all flesh and goo and stuff. Flesh and goo. So then they touch it. Nathaniel touches it. He touches the wall. Chair down the wall. And then he gets zapped. Zap, zap, zip, zap, zap. And then everything is bad. Nothing's good, everything's bad. So that's what that episode introduces. They have, maize, the corn, and, the U.S. government are buddy-buddy now. And then, when Maya and Nathaniel Arnoldson go and investigate it, they become enemies of the state. So, then, Suez Canal crab. This is inspired by the Suez Canal blockade from March 2021. I don't remember what specifically. I think it was the 8th. So the Suez Canal is blocked, right? Blocked by a boat. They send over a thermonuclear bomb They send the bomb here for some reason. I don't know why. The shock waves push the boat over. So they do push the boat over. But they accidentally, it's a crab. The boat is a crab. Drop out, and then we got a blah 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 blah. It's a crab. We start moving into Egypt, right? With all the U.S. cargo, right? So the A. Now the anti-device association. They say, we want the loot from the crab. We want to get the loot from the crab, right? So they go near the crab, and then you just pew 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 pew. They accidentally cause a they cause a massacre. Whoops, it's not really a massacre, because it's two-sided, but like they cause just like hundreds, thousands of civilians die. I believe like 12,000 civilians dead. Bunch Egyptian guards die. I'm so tired. Dude, you know what? I'm cutting it off here.